guys. We're gonna try this for a couple weeks. Ask a trainer Tuesday. See if you guys are into that. I'm gonna basically just be doing my workout and then I'm gonna try to answer some questions in between sets. But today we got some legs. You guys are gonna see my 4 squat sets. We got 4 sets. First set's gonna be 10. And then we got our second set is gonna be 4 sets. Let's go 10, 8, 8, and we'll finish with 6. And then I'm gonna do Swiss ball, laying leg curls. 4 sets of 10 each time. So we get a little quad, a little hamstring. I already did my warm up, so I add some weight. So if you're on the stream, ask any fitness questions you have or workout questions. I'm a strength and conditioning coach at Malek High School, so I right now mainly train high school athletes. But in the past, I've trained at 24-hour fitness. I've trained at local big box gyms, so I've also trained parents. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any fitness questions. And we'll start with leg day. It's probably my least favorite exercise here, but it's so good for you. The front squat. Snap, crackle, pop with my knees right there. I don't know if you guys heard it. The knees were snapping. All right. Now these are really good for the hamstrings, back of the leg. Lift the hips and just curl those feet in. You want to control on the way out and then quick on the way in. If this is too easy, you can always go one leg. I'm not going to do this for all my sets because I've not been training those that often, so those are hard with one leg. But 2 legs are good. So we got front squats, add a little weight. Again, if you have questions, drop it in the chat. I'll be answering them in between sets. See if we have any questions so far. How we doing, guys? Streaming. Still learning the streaming game. Still learning how to stream. How can people, if you guys know this, how can people stream? I'm streaming on my iPhone right now. How do I stream and see the chat? I've been trying to do that instead of walking all the way in the back. How do I stream and do the chat? If you guys know, I use my back camera because it's better quality. But I'm trying to figure out how I can read the chat without having to always walk, like this. So if you guys have any input, let your boy know. Let your boy know. All right. So the reason I like front squats, I'll give a little why I like front squats. I like back squats too, but a few things why I like front squats. One, it'll get you better at cleans, hand cleans. It'll stretch out, it'll help stretch out your cartilage that you've built up in your wrist. And it's good for your lower back and your core. It engages it a lot more. Whereas some people, especially if you're tall, when you do a back squat, as soon as you go down, you're putting a lot of pressure on your lower back. And so I like the front squat. Some of you guys will feel a lot better doing the front squat than the back squat. But it's all about how you feel and making sure you're getting the proper form down. So that's why I like front squat, a little more athletic movement. So I try to throw them in my program at least like once a year. I do like a 4-week program with it. And so this is just part of it. Here we go, set 2, going for 8. I don't know if you guys hear my breathing during that, but right before I go down for the squat, I take a big breath in, and then go down. As I come up, I exhale. Breathing will help you a lot in lifting, knowing when to inhale, when to exhale. So keep that in mind. You're always usually gonna want to inhale at the pause part of the movement. So on bench, it'd be here, right at the extension. On the squat, it'd be an extension when you're standing up. The pull-up might be when you're at extension, when you're hanging. So learning those breath techniques might help you lift for an extra rep or 2, or an extra 5 to 10 pounds. So keep that in mind. Breathing helps. Go back to the hamstring curls. Here you want to make sure your hips stay still. You don't want to be, swinging your hips up, swinging them down. You want to keep them up. Keep them nice and still. Two more sets. No चाहिए. I think I'm gonna keep the weight there. Getting a little heavy there. There's also, if you do front squats and you feel pain in your wrist, just know that's completely normal. Like right now I'm feeling the pain because I haven't done front squats in a while. And so I'm feeling that it's stretching out like my ligaments right on my wrist. That's completely normal. I remember when I was doing Olympic lifting and I had like the worst pain in my wrist. And I told my coach that I was training with at the time, I was like, I don't think I can do this next set or 2. My wrists are killing me. He was a big no BS guy. So he's like, suck it up. It's totally normal and do it. I don't care. You have no choice. He didn't give me a choice. And going through that set, after my wrists felt like they were broken and still being able to do the workout and the wrist healing in about a day, made me realize that this is completely normal with your wrist to hurt during front squats for the first couple times. It'll get better. I don't know if you guys ever remember when you started back squats, but your shoulders would hurt because you weren't used to the barbell being on there. So a similar thing, sometimes in life when we do something new, it's gonna be uncomfortable in the beginning, but it doesn't mean we need to stop then. We need to push past them to see the fruits that it bears. See if it's even worth it or if it's not. But we won't know if it's worth it or it's not without going past that uncomfortable stage. So if you're going through something right now, you're going through an uncomfortable stage right now, just push a little more. Push a little more, look within, and see if it's still worth it after you see some, some good or some bad come from it. So, a little hot tech right there. All right, here we go. Here we go. Going for set of 8. This is set 3 of set 4. Oh yeah, the wrists are feeling it. My heels are raised also for my range of motion. It helps me get lower when my heels are slightly raised. All right. One more. That was interesting. Front squats are interesting, man. They will teach you a lot about your body. My back cramped on that one. I don't even know why my back would cramp on that one. Ooh. Front squats. Try them out if you haven't never tried them out before. Front squats are great. Got one more set of those. Going on to the hammies. I might be moving my hips a little too much. That's why you always gotta get a coach. Let me know in the chat if I was moving my hips, because you can't see everything you're doing. Sometimes you're not even thinking. When you do something the wrong way, you don't even know it. You can't see yourself. That's why it's always good to get a coach, even when you are a coach. Just keep yourself trustworthy, keep yourself on point. Just trying to see if we have a question in the chat. How we doing this Tuesday? August what? It's already August, guys. It's already August. I don't know why I feel like I'm at a military camp. That's funny. Not a military camp. Military workouts though are pretty good. They do have this. Well, I guess Murph isn't a military workout, it's more of a CrossFit workout, but Murph is a great workout. I'm not huge in the CrossFit community or know much about the guy who was named after. He was in the military, not sure what branch, Marines or Army, but he would do, correct me if I'm wrong, he would do 1.5 miles, either a mile or 1.5 miles, 300 bodyweight squats all the way down, 200 push-ups, and 100 pull-ups. You get your legs, get your chest, get your back, and then he would, after all that, run another 1.5 miles or a mile. I'm not sure which one it was. And that's the Murph. And what people are doing is they put on like a 20-pound weight vest, 25-pound weight vest, to simulate all his gear. See, we do all this in his gear. Military's got some good workouts. Those are some serious folk. Military people. Their discipline, their work ethic. Appreciate it. Helps motivate me. All right, we got one more set, chat. If you have questions, put it in the chat. I'll answer it in my rest and recovery. We're gonna do this every Tuesday. Ask the Trainer Tuesday. And you just ask whatever fitness questions you have, any health-related nutrition questions. I'll help you out as best as possible. I've been a personal trainer for the last 10 years, so I know some stuff, obviously still learning, lifelong learner here. But if I could help one of you, that'd be coolio. All right, here we go, let's finish the last set. This is gonna be 6. Oh, week 1. I know these look ugly, but last one. So, that was an ugly last set. We got it done. We finished with these. These are, some people call this a physio ball. Some people call this an exercise ball. Some people call this a Swiss ball. Don't get caught up in the lingo or the words of fitness or working out. Just get the actions and behaviors. Just get the workout done. Done with those. That was the hard part. Again, I use this as a heel raiser. You can see there's a little kind of angle. I use that to lift my heel so I get better range of motion. If you have a question, put it in the chat. If you have a question, put it in the chat. Try to answer during my rest breaks. That's funny. The military can't comment, it's funny. Another thing I kind of wanted to explain before I get off here, I'm going to show you guys one more leg exercise that I really like that you can do at home. You can do it really anywhere. You have a bench, do it at the park. I'll show you guys real quick a really, really good leg exercise. The heck is this? So back in the day, I was 250 pounds. Got all the way down to 170, and right now I'm about 200, 195, 200. And the biggest thing that I've seen with myself, with gaining weight, is carbs. You're having enough carbs in your diet, whether it's rice, whether it's pastas, breads. I don't like to say too much bread because there's a lot of types of breads out there and not all are great for you, but pastas, rice, breads, burritos, tortillas, dairy, certain dairy, protein shakes. But the carbs itself help me gain weight and help me lose it. Protein and fats, whether I was bulking or whether I was cutting, usually stayed around the same. So when I was 250, trying to get to 170, my protein intake was probably about 170 or 180. Desired body weight is where you want to hit your protein goals. And then when I was bulking, it was probably 225. So it wasn't too much different. It went from like 170 to 225. Sounds like a lot, but it's about 30, 40 grams. Whereas the other way around, I would, bulking wise, have like 500 to 700 grams of carbs within a day. 500 to 700 grams. That's a lot of carbs, especially if you track, how much that is. Eating a lot of like oatmeals in the morning, 2 big pints of milk. For lunch, sandwich. I actually try to stay away from sandwiches because it wasn't enough carbs. I'd eat a lot of pasta with like some meat in there, whether it was meatballs, chicken, some sort of protein within the pasta. I'd have 2 plates of pasta. So one plate, like it was one dinner, and it was a big plate. I'll digest it, maybe take a little half nap, and then I'll come back for the second one. But you want to think like bulking or cutting, it's training. You're doing something, again, that's uncomfortable because you're not used to it. You're trying to change your body, so you got to change your weights. Always think about that. You're trying to change your body, you got to change your weights. And it's going to be uncomfortable and hard for the first, 2-3 weeks. But after that, it's going to be smoother sailing, not smooth, smoother sailing, and you'll find enjoyment of it because you're seeing progress. So just keep going, and remember that if you're having a problem with gaining weight or losing weight, whichever it may be, look at your carbs. You might be having a little too much carbs or a little too less carbs. But carbs is a big one, all right? Make sure you have your protein, make sure you have your fats. But the carbs is what helps fluctuate the weight. Carbs is what helps fluctuate the weight. I like that one. All right, so this is an exercise I want to show you guys. It's great for the legs. Amazing for the legs. Oh, I just held my back, guys. I have to roll that out in a second. Again, if you have questions, put it in the chat. But if you're new to lifting, or especially if you're like an athlete, that's who I train mostly these days are athletes, high school athletes. So we don't do anything super, advanced or intense, but we do like to rep at the basics, get good at the bread and butter. And this is a great one, when you're running around as an athlete, you're usually on one foot most of the time. So when you're training as an athlete, you're gonna wanna train on one foot, maybe not most of the time, but a lot of the time. So this is called a Bulgarian split squat. Some people also don't like to use other countries for these names, so rear foot elevated split squat. Different ways you can hold the dumbbell. You can hold it right here by your chin. This will give you a little bit more upper body work, like a front squat, right? Because you're using your upper body to hold it, using your core to keep you upright. Another way is just holding it down here. Probably do a little more weight this way, but you want to think, whatever foot goes back, that's the arm that I'm going to hold the weight in. So if my right foot goes back, what arm am I holding it in? The right, exactly. So here, driving down, and driving through the middle of my foot, back up. You could also do it on a bench. So if you have a bench at the park, if you have a bench at home, or if you have a bench or a chair at home, you could just plop either here, your foot up, right? And just do a squat. You can put a little bit of weight in it, but you want most of your weight in that front foot. So coming down, get a good distance, and here you go. You're getting a good athletic exercise there. Now, a good way to test to see how far you are, most times we come too close. So what I always do is I sit, wherever I'm putting my foot up. If I'm using my left leg, I'll straighten my left leg out, roll into that left leg, and that's usually where I want to keep it. Bring that foot back, and then perfectly down, boom, and drive up. So that's a good one. That's going to hit, the Bulgarian split squat is going to hit a lot of your quad and your hamstrings and your glutes. So it's a little bit more activating a lot more muscles in your leg than let's just say the front squat or the back squat, but you're going to do a lot more weight with the front squat or back squat. So depending on your goal, try both of them out, see which one you like more. But that's gonna be it for this stream. Thank you guys for watching. Again, come next Tuesday to 6:30, 6:45 a.m. Pacific time. So it'll be 9:30 Eastern time. And ask your fitness questions. Maybe I'll invite some trainers for this as well. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Remember, be certain of yourself, be consistent in your actions, because consistency is key. Try to do that at the end of that video. Alright. Let's see, by the way, can I recommend you one of my stretch methods for you to try out? Yes, absolutely, James. Keep pumping again. Thank you. James, you can absolutely recommend stretch method. We got Bowser, Big Burrito, let's go. If you guys also, in the beginning of the chat, I said this, if you guys have any tips on how I can read the chat while I'm filming on my phone. So I'm filming on my phone right now, the only way I can see the chat is if I go back and around it. So if you guys have ideas on how I can read it while I'm right here, that'd be great so I can answer it, do my set, and not get hurt. So anyway, thank you guys, see you next time. Pikachu.